Welcome to Byproduct Live, where we unbox everything SaaS and product. We talk with experts and leaders in SaaS and product to understand their approach to leadership and ways of working to share their knowledge and understanding. Today on Byproduct Live, I'm joined by Achille Traore. Achille is founder of White Label Loyalty, the out-of-the-box loyalty engine for lasting customer relationships. Ash established his first tech business, Top Screen Media, in 2009, and then founded White Label Loyalty in 2015. Today with Ash, we're going to be talking about the strategy that's really working for them to scale the business, but the approach that's the most difficult to achieve for any tech startup, selling your SaaS product at an enterprise scale. The topic we're going to be covering is how did Ash take his product from Yorkshire to the world. Ash is an accomplished leader and recently won the Entrepreneur of the Year award at this year's Leeds Digital Festival Awards in recognition of his achievements and leadership at the White Label business. In his free time, he's very much a family man. He loves to travel, is an active sportsman, and loves seafood. His business mindset is all about the journey, not necessarily just about the destination. Welcome to Byproduct Live, Ash. How are you doing today?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me, Andrew. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Great. It's really good to have you on the show finally. We've been trying to do this for a little while. So to kick things off for our listeners, do you want to just give us a little bit of an overview about White Label Loyalty, what it is you do, where you're positioned, etc.?
Great. Yes, we are exactly what it says on the name, a white
Yeah.
label multi-platform. Keeping it simple, as we're based here in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
So ultimately, we're experts in customer loyalty technology,
Okay.
and our mission is really to help brands build long-term relationships and loyalty with their customers at scale.
Okay.
And we use advanced technologies to do this. And I think it's probably useful to start with what loyalty is. There's a lot of
Yeah.
misconceptions about loyalty. And to us, loyalty is a value exchange in data. So
Okay.
it's about encouraging uh, and changing behavior. And to do
Yeah.
that, you need pretty sophisticated technology really to make it happen.
Yeah. So then for the brands that you're working with, it's then all about them then retaining and managing customers, and then ultimately, whether it be spending more money with more orders, etc., it just drives that relationship between the customer and whether it be a retailer or any other type of business. So you're thinking
Exactly.
club card or something similar.
Yeah, so basically, you can see us as the engine that powers that uh, exchange.
Yeah.
So we built a platform that allows you to reward any type of action, so
Yeah.
not just transactions.
Okay.
And because it's white label as well, it allows our clients to get up and running 10 times faster than anything else out there
Right. Okay.
on a robust and secure platform, really. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I guess in terms of the two key things, because as a product, you've obviously got two key highlights. What are the main things that I guess really set you apart when you're dealing with your customers?
I think we're probably the only dedicated loyalty platform that offers deep customization, but out of the box. So I think
Okay.
it's yeah. So that's kind of how
That
I
feels a little
usually say
bit conflicting.
exactly. But this is exactly what we offer. So yeah, typically when a client wants to start a loyalty program or just add loyalty to the existing platform, um, it could be a very long process. Some take years to actually set it up,
Okay.
whilst we can do it in weeks. And
Right.
yeah, it's the second stake, key point is really that flexibility to coexist with existing infrastructure, and we do this through APIs.
Okay.
So we have an API connector that can connect to third-party systems very easily and
Yeah.
really quickly. Um, and I think the main thing is basically the secret sauce. Is the engine being able to reward any type of action. So whether it's a social media interaction
Okay.
to location services or particular product purchase, and ultimately it helps you provide personalization at scale. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hard to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope it doesn't sound too complicated.
No, that's cool. So you made the decision to to sell globally and at an enterprise scale fairly early on. What kind of drove that decision?
Well, to be completely honest, when we started, um, we were aiming for smaller businesses
Yeah,
because in my head, all these big businesses, they must already have this in place, you know.
yeah,
And then when you start looking under the hood, you realize that, oh my God, they do not have everything in place. It's just the problem is the same,
yeah.
and it's just on a much bigger scale. And then when you start looking into that, over 75% of loyalty programs fail, you
Wow,
start to understand that
wow, that's crazy.
the problem is bigger than we even thought.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and that in combination with the fact that we started to get approached by larger businesses. Our
Okay.
first enterprise client was actually Burger King, so
Ah,
it's
okay.
quite a nice first one to land.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
and that really helped us understand the requirements and the level of complexity involved.
Yeah,
Uh, and yeah, that's kind of how it started. And we realized that we're solving problems and we are doing it really well.
yeah,
And we decided that actually, if we want to solve it really well for a larger uh, business, we need to actually build something that is flexible enough to handle all the complexities that come
yeah.
with it.
Cool. And you mentioned one there, Burger King. If you wouldn't mind, just to give some of our listeners an idea, what other clients are you working with or have worked with?
Yeah, so most of our clients are enterprise, so PepsiCo, we work with them, Unilever, uh, Ardex, manufacturing, B2B loyalty.
Yeah,
We work with a number of banks, insurance companies. I think one really interesting one is actually Dubai Holding, which is well, it's the Sheikh's company in Dubai. So
yeah.
this loyalty program powers the whole country. It's
Wow.
basically yeah, it's like the Nectar equivalent of what we have, but in Dubai.
Yeah,
Um, and it's completely frictionless. You just enroll your bank cards. It's card linked, and when you spend money across Dubai, you earn points and cashback.
yeah.
Then you can just convert into a prepaid Visa card and then spend again in Dubai. So basically, treating Dubai as a big shopping mall, which I think most
Yeah,
people
yeah.
considers it is, right?
And I think the thing that is, I think, super interesting in there, but obviously I guess would have been difficult to achieve, is that instant transfer of funds. So like some of the loyalty programs where you might collect points that you have to convert into money, or you get cash back on certain purchases, it can take you a long time to see that return. Whereas
Yeah,
with your product, I think you mentioned there, so it literally goes straight back onto either, did you say you have a preloaded card or your existing card and you can spend that money straight away? So that's
yeah,
obviously brilliant for your client because it means that people are getting the money back through the loyalty, but then they're just spending it straight away.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I think that's one of the core reasons why many loyalty programs don't work because we're obsessed about the consumer. We're obsessed about the user experience and really making it frictionless, right? So if you can use your existing cards, that's one example. And if you also need to burn your points or redeem your points, that whole process should be so easy and frictionless. And
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to jump through hoops to be loyal to a brand. Uh, but it's also important that because it's a value exchange in data, you are giving your data and you want the brand to look after that data and actually personalize your experience.
Okay.
And that's where many fail. But with the engine that we built, it makes that really easy
Yeah.
on a very granular level, but at scale. So I think, yeah, it's all about making that user journey really super simple.
Yeah. And I guess when then selling at an enterprise scale, what were the big challenges that you were faced with and had to overcome?
Well, it's nice to have enterprise customers. The volumes are bigger, but so is the complexity as well, right? So uh, when you want to work with enterprise customers, you need to be enterprise ready. They will
Okay.
ask you for compliance certifications. They will ask you for data residency. They will ask you for latency and kind of speed. GDPR is a very, very important part.
Yeah,
since the
absolutely.
legislation of businesses actually get fined if they're not GDPR
Yeah,
compliant. All those elements need to be put in place and evidenced as well. You can't just say, you have to show,
yeah.
and you actually really have to prove it, right? At White Label, we are SOC 2 Type 2 certified, so
Yeah,
uh, that's kind of one of the highest ones you can have, and
yeah.
that really facilitates the process when you're dealing with these big businesses.
Yeah.
Uh,
Cool.
if I may ask, add one more thing, I think the ability as well to coexist in the existing infrastructure. So if you imagine a big, large enterprise solution, a business, they usually have multiple different providers internally, different CRM, ERP systems,
Yeah.
and yeah, to work with them, you need to be able to coexist in that environment
Okay.
and making integrations easy, etc.
Yeah. And I'm guessing then that the sales life cycle of trying to sell to an enterprise customer is very different to a small business where it's a little bit easier to speak to decision makers. They may have more power, whereas big businesses, typically a lot more decision making involved. So what kind of things do you have to think about when you're looking at the sales cycle?
Yeah, so before I started enterprise businesses, I didn't have any gray hairs. So that will tell you. No, it's it's a very quite involved process. Many of them will run an RFP or a tender process where they compare you against a range of other businesses, and then they will narrow down the process to select maybe two or three in the final.
Yeah.
And then there's usually a pitch process where you have to kind of answer some specific questions and demo the environment. Uh, as part of that, you have all the compliance hurdles to jump through.
Yeah.
But the sales cycle could be long. You need to be you need to have like a data protection acts in place. Uh, but once you win them, it's very rewarding, right? So
Yeah.
the size of the price is a lot bigger, but you have to jump through a lot of different hoops.
Yeah, and I guess that process must be interesting in a way because here you have your company in Leeds trying to pitch to the Sheikh's company in Dubai. Some of the biggest technology providers in this space must be interested in those kind of projects. So you're, with respect, pitching against some big guns, I would think, in
Yeah,
that space, and they may have more resources available to them, bigger case studies, etc. So it sounds like you're probably punching, yeah, now where you should be, but maybe in those earlier days targeting these businesses a little bit above where you were at the time.
yeah, absolutely. I think you need to be ambitious, and I think our vision was to create the best loyalty technology platform in the world.
Yeah,
So it's a very broad vision, but we also wanted it to be agnostic to industry. So
yeah,
uh, we wanted it to be able to handle any type of use case in any industry.
okay,
And that forced us to really build the best in class technology. And,
yeah,
we are signing clients in the US, in Dubai, Saudi, all from Yorkshire. And that's the testament to the technology. So we're up against the big guns, like you say, but
yeah,
the proof is in the pudding. So when you get to the final stages, then they actually want to see if you can do what that beautiful deck shows you.
yeah,
A lot of people fall short, and we can just show them instantly, and that
yeah.
gives them that confidence to go to the next stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think two of the things I picked out there that obviously crucial is obviously understanding who the customers are, but actually then that enterprise level security and the ease of doing business with you for businesses sounds like they're just the absolute two most critical things.
Yeah, yeah, so important, so important, and it just speeds up the process as well. I think it's always a steep learning curve when you have the first one, two enterprise clients, but it forces you to be very structured. It forces you to take security and compliance very seriously as well.
Yeah,
And it actually allows you to set up those processes to be able to handle that type of client as well.
yeah, yeah,
So, yeah,
absolutely
I think,
critical. Cool. Well, that might have been a quick chat through selling to enterprise customers. And actually, I think when we simplify some of these things down, it probably comes to three key things that I think people need to take away from today's chat. So one is that businesses need to be enterprise ready. So secure APIs are easy to use and integrate. People need to understand how to navigate the sales cycle, and they need to understand the difference between pitching to a 20-person business and effectively a country, because that's what you were doing with Dubai, right? you're pitching to the people that run the country. And then I think I thought interestingly, because I think understanding customer profile is important, but actually you've kind of flipped that on its head actually, and you made your product viable to any customer in your space. And I think that contradicts a little bit normal product management and product leadership, because there's a general theme of, right, here's the market and it's got 100 potential customers. Well, who are the 10 we're going to sell to? Whereas you flip that on its head, right?
Yeah, we did actually, and you're absolutely right. I think it would be easier to do a vertical SaaS where
Yeah,
you focus on one industry and go really deep on it, rather than the horizontal one that we've done.
yeah,
But the benefit of what we've done is that we now have really good clients across the board.
yeah,
And for us now, it's all about uh, you know speeding up the process of creating this productized offerings for
yeah,
the different verticals. So if we talk into FMCG brands, we have great case studies with PepsiCo, Unilever, one of the biggest ones.
yeah,
If it's banking, then we're working with some really strong big banks. Um, if it's B2B, then we have some really strong case studies there. So I think
yeah,
we've set ourselves up for massive scale in a
yeah,
sense. So I think, yeah, that's why right now we are looking at whether we should inject some external funding to really capitalize on this
okay,
momentum that we have. So yeah, it's exciting times,
yeah,
and it's easy then to demonstrate the potential that's actually there, right?
absolutely. Well, look, thank you very much for your time today, Ash. It's been brilliant. It's always a pleasure to spend time in your company and find out more about you and the business. And we look
Thank you very
forward
much.
to the rocket ship continuing. We'll speak to you soon.
From Yorkshire to the world, come on. Thanks, Andy.
Speak to you soon. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you very much for listening today. We hope that you found the Byproduct podcast valuable, useful, and informative. You can subscribe on all major podcast platforms, including Apple, Spotify, and also YouTube. And if you have the time, we'd love for you to leave us a positive review. As a new podcast, this would really help us out. We'll hope to see you soon on the next episode, and thank you again.